Part 97. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 973. Seeing that Luo Yan refused to move forward, Su Junming didn't bother to talk to him. He urged the escape light on his own, bypassed the large formation in front, and continued to fly towards Nanzan Buzhu. Luo Yan was always thousands of miles away, hanging far behind. There was always a struggle on his face. Later, when he saw Su Junming leaving Dongsheng Shenzhou and arriving at the East China Sea, he gritted his teeth and turned back. He wanted to get rich, but he didn't want to lose his life. Looking at the retreating figure. This guy is lucky. Su Junming had prepared the Qingping broken sword for him long ago. As long as he dared to come forward, he would kill him with one sword. With the power of the Qingping sword, not to mention Luo Yan, a De Luo celestial immortal, even a De Luo true immortal would fall on the spot. The most important thing now is to destroy the demon sect and let him live at ease for a while longer. With a finger, the Hunyuan divine gate appeared, opened with a bang, and Su Junming flew in. The next moment, he appeared in the cave sky of the Central Academy of Chongshan Academy. Coming to the outside world, you can clearly see the sky above, which has been completely divided into black and red. Soon, a fat man wearing a red Taoist robe and a smile appeared next to Su Junming. It was Suda, the true lord of Tai. Why are you back so soon? One was captured and the other was scared away. It went much smoother than expected. Where are you? The second and third children have successfully survived the Lushan tribulation and are now stabilizing their cultivation. Once Buddhism gets involved, we will have enough resistance. Su Junming nodded. He wanted Chongshan Academy to occupy Nanzan Buzhu, which naturally conflicted with Buddhism's plan to travel to the west. Therefore, he always thought that the catastrophe that Chongshan Academy was going to face this time came from Buddhism. In order to compete with Buddhism and at the same time have enough power to intimidate nearly 20 top sects in Nanzan continent, they did not hesitate to spend a large amount of Taiza's innate fundamental energy to assist their disciples to advance to De Luo, and at the same time awaken the Dragon Emperor and Renwuji. Unexpectedly, when he was well prepared and waiting for the Buddhist sect to come to his door, it was indeed the Wuxian demonic sect who bumped into him. Since these guys dare to come to our door, let them stay completely. I originally thought that the demonic church would cause trouble with Buddhism first, so after the last battle in the Abyss Demon realm, Su Junming stopped Chen Xianzang and did not curse Ji Lingzi to death. Unexpectedly, he failed to become a fisherman and was targeted by fish instead. He reached out and pointed, and a space channel appeared in front of him. Su Junming waved his sleeves, and Qingping's broken sword flew in. At the same time, millions of feet high in the sky. Chen Xianzang instantly noticed the changes in the cave he carried with him, and at the same time he also knew Su Junming's determination. Looking at Wuxian demon ancestor thousands of feet away. I never thought about becoming an enemy of the demon ancestor. Now that the demon ancestor is here, let's stay. With both hands making secrets, 3 rays of divine light rose into the sky according to the directions of the 3 talents of heaven, earth, and man. In an instant, it enveloped the surrounding area of 100,000 miles. Only then did Wuxian see clearly that the 3 divine lights were huge divine flags with a height of 1 million feet on 3 sides. On the sacred flag of the direction of the sky is a demon god with a human head and a bird body, 2 dragons on his feet, a green body, and a wooden staff in his hand. On the banner with the word Di, there is a demon god with the head of an animal and a human body, covered with red scales, with fire snakes pierced in his ears, and 2 dragons on his feet. He holds a giant shield in his left hand and a big axe behind him. On the herringbone sacred flag, there is a human-headed dragon with a candle in its mouth and a 9-clawed dragon under its belly. Jamang, Zurong, and Zalong. As one of the evil corpses of Tathagata many treasures, Wuxian naturally knows the 12 ancestral witches and the 4 great dragon gods of the dragon clan in the ancient times. What shocked him even more was that these three-faced sacred flags were all top-notch middle-grade Deluo Lingbao. That powerful aura, if it can survive the tribulation, will almost 100% transform it into a high-grade Deluo Lingbao. Apart from the innate Black Lotus, the only top treasure he has in his hands is the God-locking circle lent to Qi Lingzi. Moreover, these three-faced sacred flags are obviously not separate pieces, but are connected with each other to form a huge formation, locking him tightly in the middle. At the same time, no matter whether it was Zhongdu City or the major sects in the earthly immortal realm, all traces of Chen Xianzang and Wuxian were lost. In front of them, there was only a blue-white mist covering thousands of miles. Members of the Qing family, who has the means to see the details of the fighting. In the Lingxiao Palace, the Jade Emperor looked eagerly at the surrounding immortals. It was hard to see the two Deluo immortals fighting each other. They were about to reach the climax when they suddenly lost sight of them. This feeling of neither getting better nor getting better is really torturous. Not just him, but all the gods below. Everyone looked at each other. Everyone has been working together for such a long time, and everyone basically knows who has what skills. The blockade of the two great Luo immortals, my own methods are really useless. Why don't you go to Tianhe and ask Su Zhenjun, someone suggested. But not many people agreed. Ever since Su Junming took charge of the Tianhe Navy in the Heaven Realm, the strength of the Tianhe Navy has increased rapidly, and it has become a place where water cannot pour in and needles cannot penetrate. Like Yang Erlang in Guangjiangkao, he listened to the tune but not the propaganda. Although Su Zhenjun is the head of Chongshan, he is only a Tai Golden Immortal, and he may not have the means to see through this formation. Moreover, he will never intervene in the battle, Wang Lingguan said. Everyone nodded after thinking for a while. The two Deluo true immortals will definitely go all out in their fight. Any interference from the outside world may cause irreparable consequences. Su Junming will never interfere unless necessary. In my opinion, it would be better to go to Tashita Palace to see the old gentleman, Bei Jingxing said. Your Majesty, what Jin Xing said is true. Among the cultivators in the earthly immortal realm, Lao Jun has the highest cultivation level and the strongest means. I think he will definitely be able to see through this formation, Neza said. What the third prince said is true. Come, please go to Tashita Palace to invite La Jun. Before the immortal official could follow the order, the Jade Emperor had already stood up. Forget it, I'll go there myself. All the immortal officials looked at each other, said whoops, and then they all followed. In Lianshan's Daosita Palace, Taizhang Lejun sat cross-legged on the throne. 3 feet away in front of him, there was a huge water mirror, reflecting the scene of the entire Zhongdu city. Especially the bluish-white mist that was thousands of miles in size occupied most of the site. It's a pity that I didn't bring the Mirror of Universe, otherwise I wouldn't have been blocked by this formation. He touched the diamond on his wrist. This treasure is extremely hard and good at killing, but it is really difficult for it to see all the 9 heavens and 10 earths. But it can block the prying eyes of the old masters. This formation is at least the top of the mid-level Deluo. With this help, Chen Xuanzang's cultivation will be further improved. It's hard to guess the outcome of this battle. Deng, 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 the boy who was watching the fire outside quickly ran in. Ancestor, the great heavenly lord is coming to Tashita Palace with hundreds of immortal officials. Taizhang Lejun instantly understood that these people were here to fight. It's a pity that I have to let them down. Open the palace door and follow me to welcome the great heavenly lord and all the immortals. Yes. The boy nodded and ran out quickly. Taizhang Lejun straightened his clothes and stepped out. Needless to say, everything that follows is bound to be a disappointment. Of course, it was not just Tianting who was disappointed, but the great Laiyan temple was also disappointed. But compared to the calm Taizhang Lejun, Tathagata Buddha's heart was different. Wuxian is one of his 5 evil corpses, and he is also the one with a relatively high cultivation level among them. If he is killed, all his hundreds of thousands of years of hard work will be in vain. There is no need to do the journey to the west. The reason why he painstakingly arranged to travel to the west and introduce Buddhism to Nanzan continent was only one of the reasons. The most fundamental purpose was to completely complete the evil corpse. Nothing is more important than improving your own cultivation. If he can advance to the level of Hunyuan true immortal, then he will be on the same level as Zhenyuanzi, ancestor Minghe, Kunpeng, Fuxi, Lazi, and other veteran gods. Back then, before Sanking and Jian became saints, they were Hunyuan true immortals. Nuwa and Zunti only beheaded the good corpses. Compared with the supreme status of Hunyuan true immortal, Buddhism in the earthly immortal world is nothing. Staring at the mighty white clouds in the water mirror, Tathagata always looked calm. No one knows what Wuxian's trump card is better than him. Not to mention Chen Xianzang, even Deluo Xianxian can't do anything to him. Wuzhuang Temple on Wanchao Mountain. There is a precious mirror suspended in front of Zhenyuanzi. The scene manifested in the mirror is exactly what happened in Chen Xuanzang's formation. The treasure mirror of heaven and earth is a high-grade innate spiritual treasure he brought from the prehistoric world. It contains 36 innate spiritual treasures and can be called the top of the high-grade innate spiritual treasures. This treasure has no offensive power, and its greatest function is to explore the 9 heavens, 10 earths, and 3,000 worlds. In addition, it can also cover the heavenly secrets. Although it is not too powerful, it is enough in the earthly immortal world. As for illuminating demons and refining demons, they are of little use. Zilong, Jamang, Zurong, how on earth were these flags made? Zhenyuanzi said in surprise. Although he can also refine weapons, he cannot refine Deluo Lingbao. It is even more difficult to refine such spiritual treasures in the earthly immortal world. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 974. Looking at the 3,000,000-foot-high giant flags holding up the sky, Wuxian's expression became solemn. He didn't know much about the fighting style, but he could feel it. This formation possesses powerful sealing power, and 3 middle-grade Deluo Lingbao are used as counterweights. Even monks who have just entered the realm of Deluo Xianxian cannot escape without the powerful treasure. Moreover, the aura of this giant flag is extremely obscure, and several different Taoist rhymes can be vaguely sensed, which obviously has ulterior motives. Just when Wuxian was looking at it intently. Roar! Ouch! Accompanied by an earth-shattering roar. The 3 demon gods Jamang, Zurong, and Zilong jumped down from the flag banner. How can it be? Before he could recover from the shock, Zurong roared and charged forward. He had the head of an animal and a body covered in red scales. He was 1,000,000 feet in size, and had an extremely ferocious aura, full of tremendous oppressive force. Even Wuxian couldn't help being attracted by the evil spirit of the ancestral witch left over from ancient times, and he couldn't help but retreat backwards. As a result, before he could retreat far, Zurong's huge axe in his right hand was already raised high. A simple down chop. With a boom, the space was shattered by the tyrannical giant axe driven by the force of the explosion. The sharp axe blade, carrying the power of creating the world, struck Wuxian head-on. Black Lotus Demon Realm. Wuxian has a solemn look, and his hands change like the wind. Next moment, a huge 9th-grade Black Lotus suddenly appeared above the head. The giant axe fell. Boom! The shocking movement shook the world. The vast shockwave rushed in all directions. The Black Lotus was unexpectedly hard, and the axe refined by Su Junming bounced high. Zurong blocked it with his shield, and the shockwave dissipated invisible. Before Wuxian could come to his senses, a huge cyan stick hit the Black Lotus hard. At the same time, the huge crimson dragon tail struck down hard with earth-shattering power. 3 consecutive attacks made the Black Lotus sway unsteadily, its aura flashing, and it looked like it would be destroyed at any moment. but after the most powerful blow passed, it gradually stabilized. Liushan looked ugly. He never expected that the three demon gods, who he thought were just decorations, could actually turn into entities, and their strength had completely reached the perfection of Delugo true immortal. No. It should be said that it is stronger than Delugo Gentian perfect. The Wu clan's physical body is extremely strong, and the burst of strength has the power to destroy mountains. If his Black Lotus demon realm hadn't been strong enough, those three attacks just now would have resulted in serious injuries even if he didn't die. Staring at Chen Xianzang in the distance. Do you think you can beat me like this? Liushan was naturally unwilling to be passively beaten. Quickly form a seal with your hands, and clasp your palms together. Black Lotus Demon God, duh. 3 rays of light flew out of the body, and at the same time, the mighty black demonic energy flew out of the Black Lotus. The two sides merged and expanded suddenly. Just a moment. 3 demon gods with a height of 1,000,000 feet, 2 heads and 4 arms, each holding a sword, covered in black scales, with a majestic body and a ferocious look, appeared in front of them. Roar. The explosive roar shook the world. Its power is no less powerful than the 3 demon gods Zhurong, Zhumang, and Zhulong. Boom. Along with the sound of huge footsteps, the 3 demon gods rushed forward instantly. Not to be outdone, the 3 demon gods Zhurong waved their weapons and came forward. The two sides soon fought together. In an instant, the evil spirit surged into the sky, the demonic energy was wanton, and the tragic aura stirred up in all directions. In a daze, it seemed as if we had arrived in ancient times, a time when the Taoist sect had not yet emerged and the 2 clans of lich and demons roamed the vast wilderness. Soon, the Black Lotus demon god fell into a disadvantage. It should be noted that although the 12 gods and demonic flags refined by Su Junming were limited in terms of conditions, they were only successful on 3 sides. But every aspect took a huge amount of effort. The branches of Huangzhong plum are used as poles, and the innate spiritual energy of Teishu is condensed into silk threads and then woven into flags. Just this configuration will be enough to refine the Hunyuan magic weapon in the future. The demon inside is guided by its essence and blood, the flesh and blood essence is the bones, the aura is the skin and flesh, and the broken soul of the demon collected is the core. Plus the weapon Su Junming specially refined for them. Its combat power is definitely the top among Delugo true immortals. When the hatchbacks work together, 1 + 1 is greater than 2. Liushan's Black Lotus demon god is only shaped by the natal soul and the Black Lotus demon chi. It might be okay to beat ordinary Delugo true immortals, but it's much worse than Zhulong, Zhurong, and Gumang. It was quickly blown away. But Liushan's methods are extraordinary. Dozens of demon gods were immediately separated and immediately staged a siege and beating. Let's see what else you can do. Liushan smiled lightly, his words full of confidence. I didn't expect that your Black Lotus is not only a top-grade innate spiritual treasure, but also contains a great world, Chen Xianzang said. There was a hint of surprise in Liushan's eyes. I didn't expect him to be able to see it. You have a good eye. Although my Black Lotus demon realm is only 10 trillion miles away, the power of the realm is so strong that even Delugo Xianxian has to stay away from it. If I want to, your formation can't stop me at all. Chen Xianzang nodded, Tathagata is very kind to you. Liushan's pupils shrank, but his expression did not change. What do you mean by this? The Buddha is the devil is the Buddha, and the Buddha and the devil work together to change according to the heart. Moreover, fellow Taoists regard the Black Lotus as the natal spiritual treasure, which is similar to the Golden Lotus of Buddhism. Chen Xianzang was talking eloquently, his eyes fixed on Liushan. Su Junming and he had long guessed that there was some kind of connection between Liushan and Tathagata. It's just that there has been no evidence and no clues. Today, when facing the enemy, Chen Xianzang had a sudden idea and wanted to deceive him. Gan Liushan's performance somewhat confirmed their previous guesses. Your ability to speculate is extraordinary. After a pause, just take action, otherwise you won't get another chance. Chen Xianzang smiled calmly. There was no trace of hesitation or uneasiness in his eyes that said he was destined to fail. It's a pity. If you don't come to cause trouble for me at Chongshan Academy, you will still have 300 to 400 years of life in the future. Although you will inevitably fall into the hands of Tathagata in the end, you can still live happily for a while. Humph. I am a demon, and I am the best at understanding people's hearts. You want to use your evil words to seduce my heart, which is simply wishful thinking, Liu said coldly. Deceived by evil words? Haha, since you can understand people's hearts, you can tell the truth and lies in my words. He shook his head. Forget it, you are a dying person anyway, believe it or not, it's up to you. Ha ha ha, can you kill me? Wu Tian said coldly. But the ups and downs in his words and the growing alertness in his eyes showed that he was not as confident in his heart as he appeared on the surface. Chen Xianzang smiled indifferently, spread his right palm, and a simple blue broken sword emerged. This broken sword has neither aura nor auspicious color. Looks ordinary. But Liu felt a fatal danger from it. Subconsciously, he blocked He Lian in front of him. Looking at the broken sword in the distance. What kind of treasure is this? Wu Tian asked in his heart. I originally thought that my Black Lotus demon realm was invincible in the earthly immortal realm. Whether it's Tathagata's glazed golden lamp or Tai's Hanglejun's diamond carving, they can compete with it. Unexpectedly, there are stronger treasures in the earthly fairy world. What kind of sword is this? The sword that cuts you off. Chen Xianzang input all 90% of the mana in Danshan into it. With his Deluo true immortal level magic power, he finally activated the first restriction in Kingping's broken sword. In an instant, a blue sword light as clear as water flashed away as fast as thunder and lightning. The speed almost transcends time and space. The sword light dissipated. A black sword marked 900 feet wide and tens of thousands of feet long appeared in mid-air. This is the trace left behind after the sword energy tore apart the space. The sword mark was straight, like a giant spear, submerging Liu. What is this sword? Every word seemed to waste a huge amount of energy. Staring at Liu's disbelieving face. This is... Before he finished speaking, Wu Tian's body could no longer hold on, splitting from the center of his eyebrows into two halves. The next moment, it was like a cloud of smoke dissipated. The 9th grade Black Lotus on top of his head also split into two halves, rapidly expanding in size. Soon it became a vast world 10 trillion miles away. The Tiandao of the Black Lotus demon realm was killed by the Qingping sword. Now the world's volcanoes erupt, the heaven and earth shake, and it looks like the end of the world. Fortunately, in the Black Lotus demon realm, there are all demons who kill without calculation. Otherwise, due to the karma of the destruction of the world and the death of hundreds of millions of sentient beings, it would be difficult for Chen Xianzang to advance to Deluo Xianxian. Looking at the swelling Black Lotus demon realm, Chen Xianzang, who had been prepared for a long time, made a secret gesture with both hands. The three-faced sacred flag burst out with intense light, and the surrounding space rapidly expanded. Even if the ruins of the Black Lotus demon realm were reduced to 10 trillion miles away, he could still pretend. In addition, from the perspective of the outside world, the blue-white clouds that originally spread out for a long time and covered hundreds of millions of miles slowly shrank inward. Gradually, a figure became clear. Everyone's eyes widened, wanting to see the winner of this fight. If the Wuxian demon ancestor wins, then the major factions in Nanzan continent will launch a major counterattack and carve up the land and population under Chongshan Academy. If Chen Xianzang wins, naturally nothing will be mentioned. From now on, everyone will live by admiring the breadth of the mountain. There is no doubt that the next moment will be a huge turning point for Nanzan Buzhu and even the entire Earth immortal world. No matter it is the Jade Emperor, Tais Hanglajun, or various Taoist sects, they all pay attention. Moon-white multi-eared shoes, yellow robes, a bare head, and a green gourd hanging around his waist. Tathagata's heart was greatly shaken, and the aura on his body rose to the sky. The mighty Buddha's light was like a volcano erupting, shaking the entire Laiyan temple. The powerful aura caused the faces of the Buddhas below to change drastically. Furajing Liubo's face also showed anger. How can it be? He never believed that Wuxian, who owned the Black Lotus demon realm, would lose, but he had to believe it at this moment. Feeling with your heart, Wuxian's aura has indeed disappeared. My Buddha. Kajyapa's somewhat hoarse voice shocked Tathagata and turned his head to look. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas below came into view as they struggled to support themselves under the pressure of his powerful aura. Except for the four great Bodhisattvas who have advanced to the Deluo realm and can still remain calm, the Buddhists in the Tai realm all have pale faces and look of fear in their eyes. The perfect momentum of Deluo True Immortal was too strong for them. It's like a huge mountain weighing on my heart, extremely heavy. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 975. Tathagata took a deep breath and raised his right palm. Namo Amitabha. The majestic and high-pitched Buddha's name resounded through the thunderous sound, and his aura gradually calmed down. The Mahavira Hall once again restored its previous peaceful appearance with the Buddha's light shining all over it. But the doubts on the faces of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas were not eliminated. After Wuxian Dao disappeared just now, Buddha's behavior was too weird. You need to know that the biggest enemy of Buddhism is the devil. Almost every Buddhist disciple has been harassed by them. When it comes to hatred, Buddhism definitely hates the devil more than Taoism, the witch clan and the demon clan. As a Buddha, how could the Tathagata pity the devil? The Tathagata understood the thoughts of the Buddhas and quickly came up with a solution. Organized the language. I thought that both Chongshan Academy and the demonic way would be harmed. When the war breaks out in Nanzan continent, our Buddhist sect can take the opportunity to spread eastward and turn this barbaric land with poor morals and weak compassion into a blessed land for our Buddhist section. I never thought that Chongshan Academy would win in the end. With the power of destroying the demon sect and killing Wu Tian, Chen Xuanzang's reputation is at the peak of his power. Under his suppression, the major factions of Taiping and Quanzhen will definitely not dare to resist. Nanzan Buzhu will completely fall into the hands of Chongshan Academy. A Nanzan continent with a stable order and occupied by Chongshan is destined to have no room for the development of our Buddhism. Although this explanation was somewhat reluctant, it successfully diverted the thoughts of the Buddhas. I am Buddha. Sunlight Bodhisattva stood up. Nanzan Buzhu Taiping, Quanzhen, and Shenxiao sects have been inherited for hundreds of thousands of years and have profound foundations. I believe they will not allow Chongshan Academy to ride on their heads. The reason why I feel wronged now is because I don't have the support of Deluo True Immortal. If our Buddhist sect contacts them and makes an appointment to attack Chongshan together, they will definitely agree. When the time comes to destroy Chongshan Academy and take away its land and population, our Buddhist sect will spread widely in Nanzan Buzhu, surpassing the Taoist sect and becoming the largest sect in the earthly immortal world. After speaking, his expression became a little more excited. The dragon subduing Arhat stood up and said, I am Buddha. Chongshan Academy destroyed the demon sect, and everyone in the spiritual world knows about it. This move will definitely accumulate endless reputation for Chongshan in the righteous path. If we join forces with the Nanzan tribes to attack Chongshan, wouldn't it be true? It would also go against the true meaning of our Buddhist compassion. Mahasthamaprapta Bodhisattva smiled. Although the words of Arhat subduing the dragon are reasonable, there are many ignorant people in the world. You need to know that what you see with your eyes is not necessarily true, and what you hear with your ears is not necessarily true. In the future, as long as they hear my Buddhist principles and understand the righteousness of my Buddhism, they will naturally turn to me as a Buddha. The dragon subduing Arhat frowned. The general trend is such that this statement is simple and straightforward, revealing naked domineering. To sum it up in one sentence, history is written by the victors. However, this is by no means the Buddhist path that he Zhonglong recognized. Just when he opened his mouth to persuade again, the Fuhu Arhat next to him quickly tugged on his sleeve and signaled him not to say anything with his eyes. But Zhonglong is not the kind of person who can act according to the changing circumstances. But not before he could speak. Tathagata's voice has been suppressed. Introducing Mahayana teachings to Nanzan tribe is a plan that our Buddhist sect made thousands of years ago, and there is absolutely no possibility of changing it. After finishing speaking categorically, the conversation changed. Although Chongshan Academy has the virtue of slaying demons now, in the past few decades, it has used its absolute strength to act tyrannically, destroying countless countries, killing without calculation, and committing many sins. Moreover, his virtue is not enough to atone for his sins. Of course, we, the Buddhist sect, should act with great righteousness and unite with all the sects in Nanzan Buzhu to attack Chongshan, exterminate this generation, and restore peace to Nanzan Buzhu. I am the Buddha with mercy. Although people like Dragon subduing Arhat, who are kind-hearted and truly agree with Buddhist concepts, do not agree with Tathagata's decision. But at this moment, more than 70% of the Buddhists in the main hall agreed to conquer Chongshan together and open up territory for Buddhism. Kagyapa. Venerable Kagyapa stepped out. The disciple is here. You go to Quanzhen and convey our Buddhist sect's decision to jointly attack Chongshan. Disciple, obey. Sunlight Bodhisattva. I am Buddha. You go to Shenxiao Road. Yes. The situation is coming. I am Buddha. You go to Taiping Road. Yes. Arrangements were made one by one, and the remaining 13 Taoists, Suanmen sects, Phoenix Forest, and 3 major witchcraft tribes in Nanzan continent all sent liaison personnel. After letting the Buddhas leave, the Tathagata left Venerable Ananda alone. Go and invite Donglai Buddha and Zen Master Wacheo. Disciple, obey. Go ahead. Venerable Ananda turned around and left the hall. Watching his leaving figure, Tathagata sighed in his heart. Chen Xianzang killed Wu Tian and lost one of his 5 demon gods. Even if he could make up for it in the future, he didn't know how long it would take. This cause and effect must be resolved. But with the power of the Wuxian Black Lotus demon realm, he was actually killed by Chen Xianzang, the newly promoted Deluo True Immortal. How could it be possible without a powerful treasure? Although the Sun Moon Will is powerful, it is only comparable to the Black Lotus demon realm, unless it is a Hunyuan spiritual treasure. Tathagata secretly guessed. However, he was not sure that the most powerful things in the spiritual world were not necessarily magic weapons, but also spiritual beasts, supernatural powers, poisons, etc. The unknown is the greatest danger. This was also the reason why he wanted to invite Maitreya Buddha and Zen Master Wacheo. These two are rare high-level Buddhas among the Buddhist sects in the immortal world. The Deluo realm in Taoism is the Buddha realm in Buddhism. The Deluo realm of Daemun is divided into 4 realms: Heavenly Immortal, True Immortal, Mysterious Immortal and Golden Immortal. Buddhism is the 4 realms of Pratyeka Buddha, Superior Buddha, Honored Buddha, and Ancient Buddha. Therefore, the Superior Buddha of Buddhism is equivalent to the Taoist Deluo True Immortal. Maitreya and Zen Master Wacheo are as good as me. If the 3 of them join forces, they will definitely be able to defeat Chen Xianzang. Although he thought so, he was not sure whether Maitreya and Zen Master Wacheo would help him. Especially the former, who has an easygoing personality and does not like fighting. Unless it is something that threatens the survival of Buddhism, it is difficult to persuade him to take action. In contrast, Zen Master Wuchao was easier to convince. As long as there is a treasure that makes his heart beat, he can win it. While Tathagata was busy planning to eradicate Chongshan, Zhen Yuanzi was full of disbelief. Unlike others, he truly saw the details of the fight between Chen Xianzang and Wuxian. If the three demon gods Zhu Rong, Zhu Mang, and Zhu Long only surprised him slightly, then the broken sword behind completely shocked him. Is that Qingping's sword? Although he didn't have much contact with the Qing Taoist, they lived in the same era and attended the Taoist lectures together in Zixiao Palace. His natal treasure, the Qingping sword, was absolutely unmistakable. He also knew the reason for the broken sword. Could it be said that Chongshan Academy is supported by Tongtian cult master? The more I think about it, the more possible it becomes. Otherwise, other sects would only have one or two Daluo monks after hundreds of thousands of years of accumulation. But until now, there have been 6 or 7 Daluo in the independent sect of Chongshan Academy. Especially when the demon sect attacked the 5 major academies in Chongshan, Wuxian was killed by Chen Xianzang. The demon sect's intruders from the 4 major courtyards in the southeast, northwest, and northwest except Granny Yunyi, who was captured by Fairy Kong Sang Chiao Shaoxin. The bloody old man was beheaded by Ice Phoenix Fairy Su Huang and most of his soul was killed. The sword demon was beheaded by the bearded swordsman Yan Chixia. The burst of strength from Chongshan Academy completely shocked the entire earthly immortal world. That's right. Back then, Zhijiao believed in teaching without distinction, and the same is true in Chongshan Academy now. Chongshan Academy, Su Junming, Zhijiao, is really well hidden. Zhen Yuan's aside. After consciously discovering the truth, all his previous doubts about Chongshan Academy disappeared instantly. The world will change, and Zhijiao will make a comeback. Fellow Taoist Tongtian, what do you want to do this time? Not to mention Zhen Yuanzi, who had misunderstood. At this moment, I am in the Dusha Palace of Liehenshan. There was silence in the Immortal Palace where hundreds of immortal officials were seated. Everyone looked in disbelief at the bald monk standing in the water mirror above, with his hands behind his back, his clothes flying, and his elegant and unrestrained temperament. Wuxian was beheaded, and the 4 incoming demons were either captured or killed. The demon sect can now declare its destruction. The strength shown by Chongshan was many times stronger than imagined. The Jade Emperor, who took a deep breath and calmed down a little, looked a little ugly. Originally, he wanted to use Wuxian's power to balance the 2 realms of Buddha and demon, and become the master of heaven himself. Now it seems that this plan has been completely ruined. But there is also Chongshan Academy. The Tathagata has spent so much effort to promote the spread of Buddhism to the east. He will never let Chongshan Academy occupy Nanzan Buzhu. Thinking of this, I felt excited. No matter who wins this fight, the power of Chongshan and Buddhism will be weakened. At that time, I can take advantage of the situation to cultivate the power of direct lineage in the heaven and take control of the power. There was a surge of excitement in my heart. I can't wait to start preparing in advance now. The Jade Emperor was not the only one whose mood changed drastically. Li Jing, the Pagoda Heavenly King, the 4 Heavenly Kings and other Buddhist direct forces in heaven also had solemn expressions. Kongshan's strength was unexpectedly strong. If Buddhism wants to occupy the Nanzan continent as planned, the 2 sides will inevitably start a shocking war across the 2 continents. As heirs of Buddhism, it is difficult for them to be alone. It's just that the war is fierce and dangerous, and if one person makes trouble, he will perish. Although it is just a clone, it has been cultivated for tens of thousands of years. It's such a pity that he died like this. But as Buddhist disciples, they dare not disobey. Relatively speaking, the Taoist immortals looked the most relaxed. Although Chongshan Academy is called Dao sect, it was established only a short time ago and there is no close relationship between the 2 parties. If they fight with Buddhism, both sides will lose, and Nansen Buzhu will completely fall into the hands of Taoism. It is impossible to say that he can extend his power deep into Xinyu Hezhu and turn the entire earthly immortal world into a land of Taoism. So people from the Taoist sect didn't care, and even hoped that Chongshan Academy and the Buddhist sect would start fighting soon. Zhang Daoling looked at the teacher sitting next to the Jade Emperor. Among the people, he was the only one who understood that giving up Nansen continent to Buddhism was a matter decided by his teacher and Tathagata. Now that a troublemaker like Chongshan Academy has appeared, it completely disrupted Master's original plan. Turning around subconsciously, the Master still looked calm. I wanted to ask, but I didn't know how to ask. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 976. Tai's Hanglejun looked at the figure in the water mirror with a calm expression. Man is not as good as God. I never thought that Chongshan Academy would appear halfway and disrupt all my plans. However, in just 2,000 years, at least 7 Deluo monks can be gathered together. There must be a big secret behind Chongshan Academy. Seek truth from facts, study things to gain knowledge, and all living beings are equal. Although these teachings have changed, they are still the same as you were before, third brother. After sighing secretly for a moment, he slowly closed his eyes. As one of the 3 pure ones, even though he was only a clone, he had already discovered that the Yuan Yang Zhenjing practiced by the direct descendants of Chongshan Academy and the disciples of the inner sect was very consistent with the Taoism of the Supreme Pure One. Although most of it has changed, and is even mixed with techniques from the Taking and Yuking lineages, the core thing has not changed. Zhen Yuanzi and Tai's Hanglejun, one saw Qingping's broken sword, the other saw Kongshan's direct transmission of Kung Fu, and at the same time regarded Chongshan Academy as the secret force of Ji Xiao. Fu Yi, hereby pass on my decree. Taoist sects are not allowed to interfere with Chongshan matters. Anyone who violates this rule will be disqualified from the Tushita Palace for alchemy. Zhang Daoling was shocked when he heard the message. Although he didn't know why his mentor would do this, he still respectfully agreed. In the entire earthly immortal realm, apart from Tushita Palace, the only places that can refine the Great Rod Pill are Lejun Temple and Chongshan Academy. Lejun Guan is a taking sect and must abide by the taking law. Therefore, as long as he gets involved in the affairs of Chongshan Academy, the entire Deluo Dan in the immortal world will be insulated from it. This punishment is not too severe. Master, if there is a conflict between Chongshan Academy and Nansen Buzhu Taoist section, then let them determine themselves. Yes. The backyard of Chongshan residence is by the Lingqi Pond of Creation. Su Junming, Renwuji, Long Di, Ao Tian, Su De and Chen Xianzang were sitting cross-legged. It's really boring. The fight is over before I can show off my skills. Renwuji said disappointedly. He finally overcame the tribulation and became the Deluo true immortal, and he reached the perfect state as soon as he was born. If it weren't for the limitations of the heavenly way in the earthly immortal realm, he could have overcome the tribulation and advanced to the great Luo Xianxian. As a result, just after the catastrophe, Chen Xianzang had already killed Wuxian demon ancestor with the Qingping broken sword. It made him come here in excitement and leave in despair. All plans to be in the limelight were ruined. Although the Dragon Emperor did not catch up with the battle, he was indifferent by nature. Although he was disappointed, he quickly calmed down. Unlike Renwuji, who is not only talkative but also pushy. What do you mean by Tai's Hanglejun? He doesn't allow Taoists to interfere in Chongshan affairs, and he threatens you with the alchemy qualifications of Tushita Palace. Even a fool can see that he is helping us. Suda asked. What else could be interesting? Most likely, he saw the Qingping broken sword in Lao Liu's hand and thought that we were the direct descendants of Ji Jiao and wanted to help us. After Renwuji finished speaking, he touched his smooth chin and guessed with great interest, you guys think, How could the Qingping sword break? This is the personal sword of the Tongtian cult master, and it is a spiritual treasure. No one bothered to pay attention to him, otherwise it would be too annoying to keep talking to him. No matter what Tais Hanglejun thinks. With his words, the Taoist sects in Nanzan buzz who dare not act rashly for the time being. The Buddhist sects will not act rashly until they understand the purpose of Tasita Palace. So, we will have some time to digest and absorb the current occupied territory, Chen Xianzang said. Kongsang Mountain. Let's go to Kongsang Mountain while we have time. There are still many treasures there that we haven't picked up yet. And now that we have 4 Deluo true immortals, and with the help of Qingping's broken sword, we will definitely be able to kill the devil, completely. Occupy Kongsang Mountain. Su Lao, you are really greedy. You never forget to search for treasures, Renwuji said. It sounds like you don't want it. The two resumed their usual bickering mode. Su Junming turned his head. Ao Tian, when will we be able to reach the peak of the Chongshan world? Now that I have the Qinqin Tu to help me, I can take half a year at most. The world of Chongshan is the world of Zhongqian. If you want to practice to the peak, it means that the main world must reach 1 trillion miles. Each of the 3,000 small thousand worlds must reach 100 million miles. The Black Lotus Demon Realm is not needed, just the Abyss Demon Realm, Taiying Ghost Realm, and several Chaos Divine Stones are enough to bring Chongshan world to its peak state. In the past, I was afraid that ghost energy and demonic energy would pollute the world of Chongshan, so I never took action. Nowadays, there is a top-grade innate spiritual treasure, the Qinqin diagram, which can transform yin and yang and sort out the turbidity, so there is no need to worry about it anymore. You go all out to practice Chongshan world, and the rest of you will go to Kongsang Mountain with me. Su Junming made the final decision. Very good. This is Renwuji. After holding back for so many years, he really wanted to show off his skills right away so that the guys around him could see what he was capable of. The boss is wise. This is Suda. He has been thinking about the treasures in Kongsang Mountain for more than a day or two. By the way, most of the 9-story tower of his Tai golden ship is still empty. We are all leaving. If the Buddhist sect comes to invade, Qin Zhong and Su Huang alone may not be able to stop them. The Dragon Emperor's cold voice sounded. Tathagata will not take action until he understands Tais Hanglejun's plan. Moreover, I have left the 12 heavenly demonic flags to Qin Zhong and the others. At the critical moment, with the formation and divine flags, they can resist 1 or 2. It is enough for us to rush back. The Dragon Emperor nodded and said no more. It's a pity that the 9th grade Black Lotus was chopped down by the Qingping sword. Otherwise, with its suppression, the power of my Tai golden ship would definitely be even higher. Suda's face was filled with regret. Although Wuxin's 9th grade Black Lotus is a top-grade innate spiritual treasure, it is not the descendant of the legendary 12th grade Black Lotus that was separated from the Chaos Green Lotus and once controlled by demon ancestor Luahu. It is the divine weapon of heaven in the Black Lotus demon realm. In order to strengthen the foundation of the 9th grade Black Lotus, Wuxin, who could have created 3 heavenly artifacts, poured all the essence into the 9th grade Black Lotus. It was directly upgraded to the pinnacle of high-grade innate spiritual treasures. If it weren't for the fact that the Qingping sword was a saint's magical weapon and was too powerful, it would never be able to break it. Boss, this 9th grade Black Lotus is a top-grade innate spiritual treasure. Can it be repaired? Su Dexi asked. You can say such stupid things. The 9th grade Black Lotus is a heavenly artifact of the Black Lotus demon world. We don't intend to leave this troubled demon world. How to repair the 9th grade Black Lotus? By the time Su Junming opened his mouth, Renwuji was already snarling out of habit. Ren Lao why are you everywhere? Suda also knew that there was little hope of repairing it, so after a few words of bickering with Renwuji, he didn't say much. Su Junming doesn't care about the 9th grade Black Lotus. The Black Lotus demon realm will definitely be used to worship Chongshan world in the future. Even the 9th grade Black Lotus cannot be left behind. However, this time he found a lot of good things in Wuxian's lair in the Black Lotus demon realm. There are dozens of Deluo level spiritual materials, spiritual roots, and spiritual treasures. There is also a rich collection of books and various secrets about ancient times and the immemorial era. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 977. I have something here, take a look. Su Junming stretched out his hand and pointed, and 5 rays of light flew into the eyebrows of the 5 people. The light unfolded, and a complex and mysterious divine text emerged in the sea of consciousness. The secret method of the Yuanqi demon, Ren Wuji murmured to himself, what a mysterious spell. It seems to be somewhat similar to our 7 souls Dao body, the Dragon Emperor said. Our 7 soul Dao body is much stronger than this original demon secret technique. But this secret technique is indeed a rare secret technique of the soul Dao. Ao Tian said. Tisk, tisk, use the 7 desires of happiness, anger, worry, thought, sadness, fear, and shock to separate the demon body and purify the mind. This is indeed a wonderful way to overcome the inner demon tribulation, Suda said. The higher the cultivation level, the greater the threat of inner demon tribulation. After advancing to the realm of Deluo, more than half of the 100 people who have overcome the tribulation will fall to the inner demon tribulation. Therefore, from the beginning to the present, countless monks have thought hard and figured out many wonderful ways to overcome tribulations. The most famous one is Patriarch Hung Jun's secret method of 3 corpses Yuan Shen. Cut off the good, evil, and attachments, and restore my great freedom. It is a pity that from ancient times to the present, the only person who has truly killed the 3 corpses and followed this path is none other than ancestor Hung Jun. Whether it is the 3 pure ones, 2 Buddhas, or Nuwa, all merits lead to sainthood. Another thing that needs to be said is that saints are just meritorious deeds, not cultivation. Su Junming is still far away from Hunyuan, so I won't mention it here for now. This secret technique of Yuanqi demon should be a derivative of the rumored secret technique of killing 3 corpses, Chen Xianzang said. The secret method of killing 3 corpses is to kill good, evil, and attachment. Although it is difficult, there are almost no hidden dangers. But the original demon secret technique is obviously a technique specifically designed to kill evil corpses, and the 7 demon kings of joy, anger, worry, thought, sadness, fear and shock must be cultivated to be strong enough to carry evil thoughts. The most important thing is that compared to the stability of the secret technique of killing 3 corpses, the demon king killed by the secret technique of Yuanqi demon has evil thoughts, kills without calculation, provokes countless causes and effects, and also has backlash, causing great trouble in the future. The Dragon Emperor continued. There are always pros and cons in everything. This Yuanqi demon secret technique is easier to kill corpses, and naturally has great flaws, Chen Xianzang continued, but I am very curious. Is Wuxian one of Tathagata's evil corpse clones? It's not the Tathagata, it should be the Tathagata many treasures. The Tathagata in the earth immortal realm is not as well cultivated as the great Luo true immortal. At most, it is the good corpse incarnation or clone of the Tathagata many treasures, Ao Tian said. Regardless of whether it is the incarnation of a good corpse or a clone, we have killed Wuxian anyway, and Duobao Tathagata has also been offended. Rather than making boring guesses, it is better to improve our cultivation as soon as possible. Otherwise, when we arrive in the prehistoric world, we will just be crossing the street. Rat, being hunted by Buddhists. Ren Lao don't be too harsh with your words. The most important thing for us now is to improve our cultivation. Tai Junsu rarely agreed with Ren Wuji. As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful mana shot up into the sky. Immediately afterwards, the billowing calamity aura became intense in an instant. Everyone's expression suddenly changed, and they all looked forward. but see you. A 9-foot-tall stone egg shining with 9-colored divine light is standing in the creation spirit pond, shining brightly. The bright divine light, the rosy clouds, illuminated the surrounding space of hundreds of feet. Is he about to be born? Su Junming waved his sleeves, and a ball of dazzling light, like the sun, flew out from the stone egg. Hunyuan Zhenmin appeared in mid-air and quickly swallowed the ball of light. This 9-aperture spirit fetus is a treasure that I spent a lot of money to keep. I can't let you little guy ruin it, Su Junming thought to himself. Boss Su, I only have one disciple, Jin Kan, and he is a bit weak after all. Why don't we just let this little guy join my disciple, Suda said with a smile. Go to hell, I don't have a single disciple under my section. Renwiji subconsciously opened his mouth to snatch it. Of course, after seeing the performance of the divine fetus, he also developed some love for talent. After all, this is the body of Tai Kai's innate spirit. Although it is not as good as him, it is still very superior. The second-generation direct descendants of the Ji and Chan sects in ancient times, such as Guangquanzi, Qi Jingjing, Wudan Shengsheng, and Sangxiao basically all have this qualification. Suda smiled and said nothing more. In fact, except for Renwiji who was practicing in seclusion, everyone else knew that this newly born little guy had been assigned to his sect by Su Junming a long time ago. Looking at Renwiji's hopeful eyes, Su Junming smiled. In that case, let him enter your door. Real. If you don't want to, forget it. Hey, I'm willing, I'm willing. How could I not be willing? Seeing that everyone had disciples, he also wanted to accept one, but he had not found the right one for many years, so he was delayed. Second brother, you have found a treasure this time. The boy's body is the top-grade innate elixir polygonum multiflorum, but the fire was not enough, and he transformed in advance, damaging the foundation. Only then was he extracted the essence and put it into the 9-color stone egg. Incubate. Now that I have been practicing hard for hundreds of years, my merits have finally been fulfilled. Looking at his aura just now, he transformed into Deluo. I can look forward to the future of Hunyuan. Chen Xianzang smiled. Haha, I am Renwiji's disciple, so of course he is not bad. What are you proud of? I will definitely recruit a better qualified apprentice in the future. Suda couldn't see him getting carried away. Renwiji glanced sideways at him. He, someone who can't even gather the suppressive items in the Tai golden ship has no right to say such a thing. These words were like sealing the throat with a sword, leaving Suda speechless. Humph, we'll see. Picking up the wine bottle, Gilo took a few sips. After drinking the wine, Suda's anger was instantly forgotten. 2 red clouds appeared on his fat face, and his eyes were blurry and full of enjoyment. This guy. Su Junming shook his head. Suda was greedy for money, fond of wine, and lazy, and he had all 5 evils. Of course, none of the people born in the 7 souls Dharmakaya are normal. Renwiji is a talkative and loves to show off. The Dragon Emperor is ruthless and likes to kill. Ao Tian, domineering and lustful. In these years in Chongshan world, this guy often separated his soul and reincarnated, causing countless romantic lawsuits in each life. Over the course of thousands of years, he left behind hundreds of families in Chongshan world, with millions of bloodlines. Really, the house is full of descendants, and there are countless wives and concubines. Su Junming was also envious, but he couldn't do it. When he thought about hundreds of women surrounding him, even if he could deal with it separately, he didn't want to try. Too tired. Only Ao Tian, who does not need to practice and can improve his strength with the advancement of Chongshan world, has such leisure time. Suda stopped talking. Chen Xianzang had been cultivating since he was born and behaved himself. I thought he was a normal person similar to him. Who would have thought that this bald man with thick eyebrows and big eyes actually likes gambling? When he was away, he often took the stupid dog Juming and the stupid cow Niu Kuei to gamble. The scope was very small and Su Junming had never discovered it. If Qingfeng hadn't come to cry and complain, Niu Kuei only cared about his own happiness and rarely even returned home, so he wouldn't have known about it. From Renwuji to Chen Xianzang, Su Junming finally confirmed that although the Seven Souls Taoist body has given them complete souls, the shortcomings of each person have not been improved. Fortunately, they are still playing, and at least they know how to exercise restraint. In addition, compared with his previous self, he keenly discovered that since the birth of the Qi-Pao Taoist body, his heart has become more and more calm. Joy, anger, sorrow, joy, 7 emotions, and 6 desires, everything is normal, but no matter what emotion, it will not disturb his state of mind. Perseverance, understanding, and character have all been greatly improved. It has the same effect as the legendary secret technique of killing 3 corpses. While several people were talking, Su Heshu had already survived the catastrophe. Su Junming's heart moved, and a ray of yin and yang glow flew out from the Hunyuan divine gate and landed on the ground, turning into a child with pink makeup and jade. This little boy is about 4 or 5 years old, with a chubby face, big eyes, chubby limbs, pink fists, and feet. He is like a golden boy in the sky, and is indescribably cute. Su Heshu pays homage to the headmaster and all the ancestors. Su Junming smiled and nodded. As expected, he is worthy of being an elf born from the innate elixir of the early days. He has perfected his cultivation as a great Luo celestial immortal since he was born, and has reached the pinnacle of the second-generation disciples of Chongshan Academy. Get up. Thank you, Master. He stretched out his hand and pointed at Renwuji. This is the Master you want to worship, Renwuji, the true Lord of Taiji Yin and Yang. Why don't you come and pay your respects soon? Su Heshu took 2 steps forward and knelt on the ground. Disciple Su Heshu, pay homage to my mentor. Good disciple, get up quickly, get up. Renwuji looked happy. If the reason for accepting a disciple was because of qualifications in the beginning, now it is purely because of love. Especially since Su Heshu was born in a boy's body like him, it was even more rare. Opening his palms, a jade stone with a black top and bottom, 3 feet in diameter, exuding the strong Tai Chi innate yin and yang aura, appeared in front of him. This piece of innate yin-yang jade is my master's treasure, and I will give it to you today. You use it to practice your natal spiritual treasure. This. Su Heshu hesitated. Haha, silly disciple, I have a treasure as a teacher. I don't need this piece of jade. Take it. Seeing the master's affirmative expression, Su Heshu no longer hesitated, raised his hands above his head, and took it. Because he had long decided to let him join Renwuji's sect, Su Junming had already injected a wisp of Taoist's innate yin and yang fundamental energy, as well as Renwuji's experience of understanding the yin and yang, into the 9-color spiritual fetus. Over the years, Su Heshu had already chosen the yin and yang Tao as the fundamental avenue. This piece of innate yin-yang jade is just right for him. Hey, don't watch the fun. We are still junior and senior uncles after all. Why don't you give me some greeting gifts? You guys really don't suffer at all. After Ao Tian finished speaking, he shook his hand, and a ray of colored light fell into Su Heshu's arms and turned into a white waistcoat. This treasure is called Water Cloud Immortal Clothes. I got it by chance. I will give it to you today. Thank you, third master uncle. It just so happens that I still have a piece of Shaoyang fairy clothes here. I'll give it to you. A stream of light flew out, and soon Su Heshu had a pair of black pants on his lower body. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 978. Shui Yun and Xiaoyang, The two immortal clothes are both top-grade Tai immortal treasures. They are not precious to Su-Heshu, whose cultivation has reached the perfection of Deluo immortal. It's just two pieces of fairy clothing to cover the body, and the Tai immortal treasure is enough. I didn't see it. Are the immortal clothes worn by Renwiji, Long Emperor, and others also of this level? Next it was Suda's turn. You all gave me clothes, so I'll give you a pair of shoes. As he waved his hand, a stream of light flashed by, and Su-Heshu had a pair of light blue multi-eared shoes on his feet. Thank you, Fifth Master Uncle. Hey, you're welcome. Before he finished speaking, he felt a powerful light coming from the side and subconsciously turned his head to look. But see you. A black sheath dagger 2 feet 3 inches long appeared in Chen Xuanzang's hand. I got this black cloud sword from the Wuxian Dharma bag. It's a low-grade Deluo Lingbao from the 3 realms of spirit restriction. I don't have any use for it, so I'll give it to you today. Uncle Sixth Master, this sword is too precious, I can't have it. This is Deluo Lingbao. With a casual wave of his hand, the black cloud sword fell into Su-Heshu's hands. I don't dare to refuse the gift from the elders. Take it. Your sixth master uncle has no disciples, and he only has a lot of good things in his hands. It's just a Deluo Dharma sword. It's not a precious thing. Just keep it. You little wren, why did my good intentions turn into charity for you? Hey, it's just a slip of the tongue, don't take it seriously. After saying that, he turned around and said, it's up to you. The meaning is obvious. Spend more money. Considering that this is Renwiji's only direct disciple, his former body, the innate Polygonum multiflorum, also contributed top alchemy materials to himself. Su Junming is not prepared to be stingy either. With a wave of his hand, a golden rope tied with a crimson gourd automatically wrapped around Su-Heshu's waist. Immediately afterwards, a small mountain covered with clouds and fog flew over Su-Heshu's head. The red gourd is also a storage gourd, a symbol passed down from the second generation of Chongshen. It is the standard equipment for the second generation direct disciple of Chongshen. Both of them are top quality Tai immortal treasures. Although Su Junming can already refine the medium-grade Deluo Lingbao, due to limited materials, he cannot refine the storage gourd and portable cave into Deluo Lingbao. The next moment, a brass circle with brilliant aura, steaming precious energy, and radiant light appeared in the palm of his hand. Middle-grade Deluo Lingbao. Suda exclaimed, his eyes like light bulbs, his face full of greed. This is the Six Paths treasure taboo, the top of the mid-grade Deluo Lingbao. Except for the natal spiritual treasure sky-swallowing jar in his hand, the Tai golden ship lacks a restriction compared to it. Su Lao, this is my apprentice's treasure, don't make any decisions. Renwiji's face was full of alertness. Suda couldn't help but rolled his eyes. Ren Lao fifth master, although I like the baby, how could I possibly do such a shameless thing as robbing my nephew? You underestimate me too much. Huh, nip it in the bud. Too lazy to pay attention to their quarrel, Su Junming said. The name of this treasure is God Locking Circle. After I practiced it again, its power has reached a higher level. It can not only lock demons and capture demons, suppress immortals and destroy Buddhas, but its body is extremely hard, although it is not as good as Lao Jun's King Kong Taku, but it's not too different. In addition, this treasure is made of innate Tai real gold. The material is extraordinary. When you come to the ancient world, I will practice it for you again. It may be a little difficult to advance to the top grade, but the top grade of the 8 or even 9 realms of spiritual restraint Deluo Lingbao is easy. I will give it to you today. I hope you will practice well and contribute to the growth of Chongshan Academy. Please rest assured, Master, my disciples will work hard to cultivate and contribute to the growth of our section. Su Junming smiled and nodded, and the magic ring flew up and was put on his left arm. At the same time, he separated a copper ring and tied up the black hair on the back of his head. When everyone looked at it this time, they all showed satisfied smiles, especially Renwiji, who was the master, and his face was even more elated. White clothes, black trousers, green mango shoes, and a red gourd pendant with a golden rope tied around the waist. The golden ring on his left arm and the magic sword on his back add a dash of heroic spirit to his cuteness. As expected, he is a golden boy in the sky, a koi carp on the ground, and a good boy under the Chongshan sect. From now on, you will be the 18th direct disciple of the second generation of my Chongshan section. You will be ranked below Li Chunfeng. I will give you the Taoist title of Tiandu. Thank you, Master. Go down and stabilize your cultivation. Disciple resigns. Su Heshu walked out. The vast area outside Chongshan Juwai allows him to freely place his own dojo. However, the direct disciples of Chongshan sect prefer to put their dojo in the portable cave. Now only Sun Er and Sun Shi are left who have not broken through, Chen Xianzang said. Sun Er's identity is sensitive, so let him cultivate slowly in the world of Chongshan. As for Sun Shi, he majors in martial arts and requires too many resources. When he reaches the perfection of Tai Golden Immortal, I wish him a breakthrough. After finishing speaking, Su Junming stood up. Let's go, it's time for us to go to Kongsang Mountain. Hey, I can't wait for a long time. Suda's face was filled with excitement. I want to see how strong that devil is. Renwiji looked confident. I won't accompany you anymore. Take Kongsang Mountain and remember to leave it to me. The Black Lotus Demon Realm and Kongsang Mountain can at least save the world of Chongshan. Hundreds of millions of years of creation, Ao Tian said. Su Junming nodded and pointed. Hunyuan Zhenmin appeared in mid-air. As soon as the magic formula was pressed, the stars lit up, and with a bang, the stone door opened, revealing a long silent space beacon, shining brightly. 5 people, Su Junming, Renwiji, Long Di, Suda, and Chen Xianzang, flew in. Go through the long space tunnel. The once familiar world full of lifeless energy appeared before my eyes again. Before they could gain a firm foothold, winds and clouds surged around them, and death auras rose into the sky. Thousands of feet long dragon of death roared, and meteorites fell down like earth-shattering rocks. Su Junming looked solemn. 4 elephants divine gate formation. Hunyuan Zhenmin shines brightly, with Renwiji, Long Di, Suda and Chen Xianzang taking charge of the east, west, north, south and south. In an instant, 4 tall divine gates protected the 5 people in the middle. Boom, the thunder shook the sky. It was as if the whole world was shaking. The powerful impact made the 5 people's faces turn pale. Especially Su Junming. If he hadn't just set up the formation, he would have been seriously injured just by the force of the counterattack. Ha ha ha, I'll see how you escape this time. Amid the wild laughter, a human-shaped black mist appeared high in the sky. Surrounding it is a tortoise shell and a picture of a river. The powerful formation, supplemented by the extremely rich death energy, firmly trapped the 5 people in the middle. That Hichuluashu is the treasure we lost in the East Palace. Suda recognized it immediately. Su Junming nodded slightly. This demon is so smart. He didn't destroy the spatial mark we left. Instead, he surrounded us with formations and tried to catch turtles in the jar. And he even caught him. Chen Xianzang continued, why didn't you teleport to Yeyu Palace? If you have the winning ticket, you can do whatever you want. Su Junming waved his hand, and a green light flashed by. Xianzang, it's up to you to take action. Chen Xianzang took over Kingping's broken sword. With the magical power of rewarding good and punishing evil, he doesn't have to worry about running out of magic power and can freely use Qingping's sword. Moreover, in Kongsang Mountain, a place where life is absolutely silent, there is no need to worry about anyone spying on the secret of Qingping's sword. Is this that sword? Why is it so powerful? he still remembers that the other party used this sword to kill his most proud soul clone, the three-legged golden crow. Now that I see it again, I feel a strong sense of danger. Billowing mana flowed into Qingping broken sword, and the sharp sword energy soared into the sky. Cut! Chen Xianzang shouted. Next moment, hundreds of feet of sword energy soared into the sky. The azure sword light was faster than electricity and faster than light. It seemed to penetrate the space and instantly cut through the formation. Clang! The fierce sound of gold and iron clashed. But he saw a simple iron shield blocking Qingping's sword energy. The upper end of this iron shield is arc-shaped, and the lower end is flat and right-angled. The whole shield is blue and black, with a lower leaf pattern of a strange beast that resembles a tiger's head but has a single horn. There are mysterious purple divine patterns on both sides. The surface of the iron shield is extremely mottled, and you can clearly see the marks left by the slashes with swords and axes. It can be seen what a brutal battle it went through. However, although this shield is old and mottled, it is not broken. Qingping's sword energy just left only a shallow sword mark on it. What kind of treasure is this? Can it actually block the Qingping sword? The Dragon Emperor frowned. Su Junming urged the bronze mirror to move. The next moment, the extremely rich Taoist Zhengjin spiritual energy in the iron shield came into view. At the same time, golden red restrictions, like extremely strong iron ropes, locked the Zhengjin spiritual energy tightly. Three golden red restraints connected with each other made the iron shield's defense even more powerful. That's not all. Originally, this iron shield should have 5 golden and red bars, but 2 of them have disappeared under the passage of time. It's hard to imagine how strong the defense capability of this shield would be when the 5 restrictions are complete. Blood-refined magic weapon. Su Junming recognized it. Refining the body is different from refining the qi. Qi refining can be used to refine the natal spiritual treasure, while body refining can be used to refine magical weapons with blood. Use your own energy and blood, combined with cherished spiritual materials, to conceive and raise magical weapons. Because it is most suitable for one's own path, it is extremely powerful. Be careful. This is a blood-refined magic weapon. Although it is not as powerful as Qingping's broken sword, it is not much different. Renwuji, Long Emperor, and the others also used the phantom of the bronze mirror in their dantian to see through the reality of the shield. The energy and blood are mixed with such a strong evil spirit. It seems that this shield is an artifact of the witch clan. It is also a blood-refined magic weapon of the 12 ancestral witches. To be able to block the Qingping sword, he must be a Hunyuan level magic weapon. Apart from the 12 ancestral witches, they could not think of anyone else who could possess such a treasure. With the shield as the divine weapon, apart from Xin Tian, is there anyone else in the Wu clan? Renwuji said. There is a shield, so it may not be Xin Tian. However, I can't guess who it is. The Dragon Emperor shook his head. Tens of billions of years have passed since the ancient times, and even if there is still a fragment of it left, it is still vague and cannot be considered comprehensive. It is too difficult to figure out the origin of this shield. Fortunately, Su Junming didn't hesitate. Once he got it in his own hands, he would figure it out sooner or later. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 979. After looking at the simple shield, Su Junming didn't take it to heart. The defensive power of this thing can block the Qingping sword, but it is only defensive. In terms of offensive power, it is not even as good as the Tai immortal treasure. In addition, it blocked the sword energy, but it did not block the sword energy from breaking through the formation. Now that the formation has been broken, we will proceed as planned, Su Junming said solemnly. Good. Renwuji, Long Di, Suda, and Chen Xianzang were assigned to the 4 directions to defend Su Junming. The latter's seals flew, and the 4-elephant formation turned into a 5-element formation. The central Hunyuan divine gate transformed into 100,000 feet, absorbing all the surrounding death energy into it with its tyrannical sucking power. In the center of Hunyuan Zhenmen, on the immortal island of creation within Kongshanju, many spiritual roots of successive heavens refine the death energy. The rich spiritual energy is rapidly derived. Driven by the magic power of Su Junming's clone, a huge space channel slowly appeared above the creation spirit island. The next moment, the billowing death energy seemed to have found an outlet and quickly ran towards it. After passing through the long space passage, the rich death energy appeared in a huge world that looked like a giant tree. Before the death energy dispersed, he was swallowed up by a huge Tai Chi diagram with a diameter of millions of feet in mid-air. Yin and yang wax and wane, and the universe changes. The death energy disappears and turns into pure yin and yang spiritual energy. In addition to the death energy, there is also billowing yin energy, rushing away. Ao Tien sat cross-legged, controlling the universe and refining the ghost world of Taiyin. It seems that I and the others have taken action. Driving the rapidly expanding 3,000 small thousand worlds, I didn't expect the quality of this death energy to be so high. It seems that you don't need half a sword to advance to the world of Chongshan. Looking at the death energy that was quickly being swallowed up, the devil said coldly. Still the same old thing. The bone god demon. Boom, the heaven and earth shook. Endless white bones rise into the sky like a volcano erupting. Immediately afterwards, a white bone demon god with 4 heads and 8 arms and a height of 1,000,000 feet condensed and took shape. The thick bones are like pillars of heaven. The fierce evil spirit is thrilling. Roar. The vast sound waves seemed to split the earth and open the sky. The entire Kongsang mountain was shaking. Amidst the roar of explosions, the bone demon god took earth-shattering steps, and 8 giant bone swords extended from his 8 arms. He slashed at Su Junming and the others fiercely. The arrogance that destroyed the heaven and earth, the murderous intent that shook the world and shook the earth. Su Junming looked solemn. Chen Xianzang, it's up to you. Do not worry. Holding the Qingping broken sword with both hands, billowing mana poured into it. Shua. Cut out with one sword. Like light and electricity, the extremely fast sword energy soared into the sky. Reward good deeds. Mana is restored instantly. Then came another sword. Like this, 9 swords in a row. The 9 sword energies are like the Yangtze River, with each wave rising higher than the next. Chen Xianzang held the Qingping sword in his hand and took a deep breath. Although the magical power of rewarding goodness can instantly restore mana, continuous use is a huge drain on one's own energy. The powerful sword energy instantly arrived in front of the bone god demon. The next moment, a mottled iron shield turned into a giant 100,000 feet in size, protecting the skull of the bone god and demon. Obviously, this magical weapon of the witch clan cannot exert its full power in the hands of the devil. Soon, the entire white bone god and demon was shattered into pieces by the powerful Qingping sword Qi. Long Emperor, Suda, it's your turn, Su Junming said quickly. The Dragon Emperor nodded. Behind him, red, yellow, white, green, and black, 5 colors of divine light soared into the sky. Yao Yao is like a divine dragon flying across the sky, and Zhao Zhao is like the sun across the sky. The Dragon Emperor, who has advanced to the level of De Luo True Immortal, can now use the great 5 elements divine light at a speed no longer as slow as when he first entered De Luo Celestial Immortal. 3 million feet of divine light spread out, completely enveloping the bone god and demon. Staring at the divine light, the devil instantly realized something was wrong. There are 5 rays of light here and there, which are completely 5 condensed metals, wood, water, fire, and earth, covering a huge world of 3 trillion miles. Although they are all single-element worlds, they are not comparable to the real world. But the tyrannical power of the realm can still instantly suppress De Luo Xianxian. Subconsciously want to escape. But the iron shield, which is 100,000 feet long, can be used freely by the ancestral witch's huge strength. Changing to the magic way is too far behind. If you abandon it and fail to guard against that powerful sword energy treasure, you will be completely at a disadvantage in any fight. Damn it, how could these guys improve so much in such a short period of time? Cursing secretly, he gritted his teeth, abandoned his shield, and ran away like lightning. Soon, the overwhelming divine light came down. Whether it was the shield or the endless bones, they were swept away in an instant. Seeing this scene, the devil was secretly glad. Luckily I escaped quickly, otherwise I would have been dead. Hey, where are you going? A lazy voice sounded in my ears. The next moment, several large black holes appeared on the path the demon must pass through. 5 soul-slaying swords. The dark sword light flew out from the space channel like lightning. The distance was too close and the speed was too fast. Before the demon could react, he was killed instantly. It's done. Suda said in surprise. The devil has achieved enlightenment with 7 emotions and 6 desires, and he has probably practiced a lot of souls. We probably only killed one of his souls this time, Su Junming said. Suda's smile froze on his face, and he instantly remembered the scene when Su Junming beheaded the 3-legged golden crow corpse in the East Palace. At that time, they also thought that the matter was settled, but they were quickly killed by the devil. If they didn't have a lot of treasures in their hands, they would almost be left here. One soul is so troublesome, wouldn't it be exhausting to have a few more, Suda said. The soldiers are coming to cover up the water and the earth. If we really can't defeat him, let the second brother break through to Luo Xianxian. We will definitely kill him by then, Chen Xianzang said. It's not that troublesome. Without this iron shield, he can't block Kingping's sword energy. It will be easy to kill him again, the Dragon Emperor said calmly. More than that. This devil's soul is powerful, but he is still driving the death energy and bones in Kongsang Mountain to fight with us. As long as we continue to suck these away, his power will become weaker and weaker, and he will be completely killed by us. As soon as Su Junming finished speaking, he saw endless death energy gathering rapidly. The gloomy and ferocious voice echoed again. Do you think you can really kill me? It's just a wishful thinking. If you know better, surrender obediently. I will forget the past and will pass on the magic of your great freedom to guide you to become the ancestor of all demons and live forever. The sound drifted, and coupled with the thick death aura surrounding it, it was difficult to discern the direction. Those who hide their heads and show their tails still want to confuse us. Suda's face was filled with disdain. Boss, let me take action. With the power of my Lianji divine light, I can definitely kill this beast completely, Renwuji said. No, this place is weird, and the devil may not be the last enemy. Therefore, you must keep your spirit intact. Once you encounter a powerful enemy, you will be our last hope for survival. Su Junming refused immediately. Renwuji was extremely depressed and thought he would show off his talents. I didn't expect that I would stay for the finale. Ignore it, calm down and activate the formation to absorb the dead energy and bones. If these things are missing, the devil's strength will be weaker. If he dares to show his head, I will kill him with one sword, Su Junming said. Everyone nodded and activated the formation to absorb the surrounding death energy and bones. 4 Deluo true immortals joined forces. The surrounding death energy and bones flowed into the Hunyuan divine gate, crossed the space channel, and came to the Chongshan world to be refined into spiritual energy. Feeling that his power was getting weaker and weaker, the demon was extremely anxious. These damn bastards actually ruined my practice. He had the intention to rush forward, but he was worried about the powerful sword energy and did not dare to get too close. He really couldn't figure it out. How could a Deluo true immortal constantly activate the Hunyuan Lingbao? Just when he was hesitating, Su Junming's soul sent a message. How? His soul has been collected, but if you want to curse him, You must make 7 nail-headed arrows, Chen Xianzang said in a message. No matter how many souls you have, there is only one soul. If you want to completely kill the devil, you only need to kill his soul. Chen Xuanzang's 7 nail arrows are most suitable for killing demonic spirits. How much time is required? 3 months. If assisted by Hunyuan Zhenmin, it only takes 10 days. That's enough, let's start making it. Chen Xianzang nodded. After dividing 20% of the mana into Ruyi body, he began to use the power of time from the Hunyuan divine sect to refine the 7 nail-head arrows. With his current cultivation level, Ruyi Shen with 20% of his magic power is also a Deluo celestial immortal. Look. In fact, Ren Wuji didn't need to remind him, the others also saw the bones and death energy gathering again outside the formation. This time it's no longer the bone demon god. Instead, it is a bone ball with a diameter of 3,000 feet, and its surface is covered with countless black and purple divine patterns. 1, 2, hundreds gathered in the blink of an eye. Su Junming sensed the danger. Except for the second child, I will attack them all. Ren Wuji curled his lips. Chen Xianzang slashed out with his sword. The sword energy was like light and electricity, and it cut through dozens of bone balls like lightning. Su De made a secret, and the sky-swallowing jar turned into a giant of tens of thousands of feet, and the majestic swallowing power enveloped it. The Dragon Emperor's great 5-element divine light touches everything. In a matter of seconds, countless bone balls were taken away. The devil took a look. Can't wait any longer. As soon as the finger gestures changed, all the bone balls rushed towards the formation. A bone ball like a meteorite, extremely fast. Boom. A few fish that slipped through the net ran into the big formation. The powerful impact shook the entire formation. The next moment, these huge bone balls exploded instantly, and the billowing death gas turned into yin fire, spurting out, instantly corroding a large piece of the formation shield. If the Hunyuan divine sect had not reached the ultimate level of the middle grade Deluo Lingbao and 4 Deluo true immortals suppressed it, it would have been destroyed by him in an instant. Su Junming quickly activated the creation spirit pool to absorb the dead energy and transform it into spiritual energy to repair the formation shield. Just after repairing it, another bone ball hit. The earth-shattering explosion sounded again. Boss, let me take action, Ren Wuji said impatiently. No, I can still hold on. Listening to this, Ren Wuji looked depressed. If I had known, he would have broken through earlier. Unlike now, I can only be a spectator. Thanks to the book friend, flowers and trees by the waterside make their own yin for 100 starting coins. Book friend Haizu rewards you with 100 book coins. Thank you so much. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 980. Chapter 961, Returning to Kongsang Mountain, Part 2, Ancestral Wuping Collects. Su Junming saw Ren Wuji's depression, but this place in Kongsang Mountain was a lot weird. He must keep a trump card to save his life at critical moments. This was also the habit he had developed after he was lucky enough to survive from Lord Huosang. The Dragon Emperor and others resisted the bone ball, while Su Junming activated the Hunyuan divine sect to wildly devour everything in Kongsang Mountain. The situation suddenly became deadlocked. However, the longer the delay is, the more beneficial it will be to Su Junming and the others, so the 5 of them are happy to delay this way. Gradually, the number of bone balls begins to decrease. The power is not as powerful as before. Su Junming was shocked. The balance of victory is beginning to swing in our favor. The devil also noticed the changes in the death energy in Kongsang Mountain. Staring at the still powerful formation in the distance. If we still can't completely kill him next time, we will have to make a dangerous move. I tried to summon my own shield, but no matter how much it was activated, there was no response. It's a pity, if it were still the same year. He shook his head regretfully and quickly changed his hands. At the same time, the bone balls all over the sky slowly disappeared. Su Junming stared around, fully alert. "Look at your feet." As soon as the Dragon Emperor reminded them, everyone quickly looked down at their feet. But at the foot of Kongsang Mountain, the sea of bones that are hundreds of millions of miles away suddenly boils. Large pieces of withered bones rose into the sky, flying tens of thousands of feet before falling down. Boom! A dark golden mountain rushed out of the sea of bones. Su Junming's pupils shrank. It soon became apparent that this was not a mountain, but a gigantic palm measuring more than 100,000 feet. The dark golden scales were dull and clinging to the dry flesh. The sharp nails are like aquiline hooks. Even after many years, they still shine with a sharp cold light. Behind the giant palm are arms as thick as sky pillars. Boom boom. 4 times in a row. 4 similar palms rushed out of the ancient sea. The next moment, endless white bones rose into the sky like a volcano erupting. Accompanied by endless white bones, a magnificent dark golden mountain slowly stood up. "My dear, what is this thing?" Renwuji was stunned. "It is 200,000 feet tall, with a mountain shape, like a yaksha, a wide mouth with fangs, and an extremely ferocious head. It is already a little dry, but you can still get a glimpse of its extremely strong torso at its peak. The 4 thick arms have the power to lift the sky. Judging from the bones on its back, it should have had wings, but they were broken. The majestic legs are like pillars of heaven, supporting the strong body. A crack with a diameter of tens of thousands of feet passed through the chest, the ribs were broken, and the skylight behind could be seen. Apparently, this heart-destroying gash was the fatal wound." Roar! The explosive roar was earth-shattering. The large formation set up by the Hunyuan divine sect began to shake. Su Junming looked solemn as he looked at the demon god who was 3 million feet high, entangled with corpse aura, evil aura, and Zhengjin aura, and whose auras shook the heaven and earth. "Boss, this thing can't be the corpse collected by Xiao Wuopang, right?" Su Junming nodded slowly. On it, he felt an aura similar to that of the hand of Mang. After the roar, the closed eyes suddenly opened, and the dry eyeballs were particularly ferocious. However, Su Junming and the other 5 people sensed a strong murderous intention that enveloped their own side. "It's the devil," said the Dragon Emperor. Back then, the devil could control the 3-legged golden crow corpse, and of course he could also control the body of Sima Xiao. When everyone was on alert, Liao Xiao took a big step and arrived at Kongsang Mountain in a few steps. With one leap, he soared tens of thousands of feet into the air and thrust his huge palms into the rocks. The next moment the stone shattered and rolled down. "Stir up endless white bones." "What is he going to do?" Suda asked. "No matter what he wants to do, kill him first with the Qingping sword," Su Junming said. Chen Xianzang activated the Qingping sword, and the powerful sword energy, like light and lightning, struck straight at Ping's body. Clang! The violent chirping of fine iron resounded through Kongmalang Mountain. A thick black iron rod appeared in Ping Xiao's hand, blocking Qingping's sword energy. The body jumped up, and with a hoarse friction sound, the iron rod was pulled out from the mountain. Only then did everyone see clearly that it was a giant sword that was 1 million feet long, indigo-colored, and simple in shape. Holding the knife in his hand, Piao Xiao's aura increased several times. Su Junming saw a bloody restriction similar to the giant shield just now in the giant sword. It was obvious that both of them were the divine weapons of Liao Sui. "Haha, let's see how you die this time." The crazy voice came from inside Miao's head. It was the voice of the devil. Next moment, the giant sword slashed vertically. The overwhelming sword light was like the Yangtze River, heading straight towards Su Junming. The brutal evil aura, the murderous aura that pierces the heart and soul, is breathtaking. Without Su Junming's instructions, Chen Xianzang had already urged Qingping to break the sword and kill him. 3 swords in a row. The powerful sword energy is as if the Tianhe is falling, and the momentum is powerful. The brilliant sword light shot straight into the sky. The sword light is getting closer and closer. Light. The intense brilliance illuminated the entire Kongsang mountain. The dazzling white light was like the sun rising across the sky. The vast shock wave shook Kongsang mountain, which was tens of millions of feet high. The endless sea of bones was shattered into bone powder. The next moment, earth-shattering thunder resounded through Kongsang mountain. My lord, the demon master's control over the physical body of the ancestral Wu Pu is far greater than that of the three-legged golden crow before, the dragon emperor said. Su Junming nodded. He saw it too. If the strength that the devil exerted after mastering the three-legged golden crow was 1, then it would be 100 now. Earth-shaking changes. Could this devil be the result of Biao's resentment? For a while, it was difficult for him to confirm his guess. He turned to look at Chen Xianzang, who was already showing signs of fatigue. Obviously, frequent use of the rewarding goodness magical power is a huge drain on the spirit. After feeling the blow, Liao's momentum had not diminished at all and he collected the body. He knew he couldn't wait any longer. Wuji, let's go through the tribulation. What? Ren Wuji didn't come back to his senses for a moment. Su De came up and kicked him out. Hurry up and go through the tribulation, why bother? Su Lao, wait until Grandpa comes back from the tribulation and see how I deal with you. Ren Wuji's face was full of joy, and he didn't care to deal with Su De, and activated the escape light to fly towards Xingxiao's body like lightning. Seeing him coming here, the devil smiled coldly. Court death. Just as he was about to slash out with his sword, he suddenly realized something was wrong. The strong calamity aura quickly gathered. In an instant, it has covered 30 million miles. Because the distance was too close, the calamity aura enveloped the entire body. Mo is not a fool and instantly understood Ren Wuji's plan. Damn bastard, you actually want to drag me into the water. He quickly urged Biao to collect the body and leave, but Ren Wuji was like a dogskin plaster, hot on his heels. Seeing that the calamity cloud was getting thicker and thicker, the devil turned around and ran away without caring about the body. Once locked by the heavenly tribulation, it would be all over. It should be understood that the heavenly calamity goes straight to the soul. No matter how many souls he only has one soul. Once the catastrophe falls, no matter how many souls there are, they will perish. Without his control, Ling Shuo's body could no longer hold on, as if a huge mountain collapsed and fell down. A dead object is naturally not within the scope of the natural disaster. Boom! A thunderbolt with a diameter of 100 feet fell down. The divine light of 2 rituals. 1,000-foot-long black and white divine light swept across the sky. As soon as the 2 sides touched, the mighty thunder slowly disappeared. Lianji divine light, a great magical power that Ren Wuji realized after he advanced to Deluo. It doesn't have the divine power of the Dragon Emperor's great 5 elements divine light to sweep away everything, but it has powerful grinding power. Once the power of yin and yang is grinded, even the great Luo heavenly tribulation cannot withstand it. After escaping from the range of the thunder tribulation, the devil looked at everything behind him with an ugly expression. When he saw that the other party took advantage of the gap between the tribulations to take away the body he had left behind, his expression became even more ugly. In order to avoid being affected by the catastrophe, he did not leave any distraction in it. Once it was taken away, it would be difficult to get it back. Without this trump card, facing that powerful and sharp broken sword, it would be impossible to withstand it. It's all you who forced me. You can't even imagine what I can't get. Turn around and fly straight out of Kongsang Mountain. Su Junming and others, who had been paying attention to the demon's whereabouts, instantly discovered something unusual. Is he going to run? Su De said in surprise. It seems so. But this devil doesn't look like someone who would run away, the Dragon Emperor said. The corpse of the ancestral witch has been collected by the Hunyuan Genman. Without this trump card, how can he resist our Qingping sword? If it were him, knowing that he would lose, he would definitely put oil on his feet as soon as possible, Su De said. Are we going to catch up and beat up the drowned dog? Chen Xianzang said with a smile. Hey, I think it's okay, Su De said. What's on your mind? Dragon Emperor turned around and asked. Staring at the demon going away, Su Junming frowned slightly, always feeling that things were not that simple. If everything goes as he expected, and this demon is the result of resentment, he will definitely inherit some of the witch clan's character traits, such as bravery, uprightness, warlikeness, etc. During the ancient Lich War, all 11 ancestral witches died in the battle, except for Ho-Tu, who had long suppressed the underworld forever, which is proof of this. With such a character of I'd rather be broken than destroyed, the devil will never retreat unless he has a backup plan. Or, isn't he the result of resentment? Think for a moment. Lao Lu, have you caught the aura of this devil? The stone shield contains its remaining soul, but if you want to kill it with the 7 nail arrows method, you still need time to refine the puppet. Su Junming nodded and spread his left palm. A Bagua disc emerged. In the center of the Bagua disc is a ball of light about the size of a child's fist, which is bright blue in color and dotted with stars inside, making it look like a starry sky in the universe. This is the most precious treasure of destiny, the heavenly mystery ball, which he has painstakingly cultivated. It is now a middle-grade Deluo Lingbao forbidden by the 4 laws. Activate the Danshan Destiny Talisman. What was originally a flat Bagua disc instantly turned into rapidly rotating guide rails, like an armillary sphere. The cosmic light blue light group inside expanded rapidly and soon enveloped the Bagua pen. Thanks to book friend Yuning Hanchuang Qing Hui Lang for the 500 starting coin reward. Thanks to book friend Boring Zioxy for the 100 starting coin reward. Thank you so much. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 981. A series of extremely mysterious divine patterns flashed in Su Junming's eyes. The divine light of the destiny talisman in the Danshan is superb. After he activated the heavenly secret divine ball to the extreme, several characters suddenly appeared in his mind. Kongsang Mountain, Yeyu Palace. Other than that, nothing more is gained. Kongsang Mountain? Yeyu Palace. Subconsciously, he looked towards the center of the entire cave, the majestic and magnificent mountain. Kongsang Mountain may refer to this mountain alone, or it may refer to the entire space of 10 trillion miles. In contrast, inviting the Moon Palace is more clear. In addition, extrapolated income. Kongsang Mountain and Yeyu Palace are separate. This means that there are threats in both places. My lord, what's the result? Dragon Emperor asked. Su De and Chen Xianzang also looked over. As for Renwuji, with his cultivation and background, and the assistance of the bronze mirror, it is not difficult to survive the 49 heavenly tribulations and advance to Deluo Xianxian. Staring at the huge mountains in the distance, he said slowly. The calculation result is Kongsang Mountain and Yeyu Palace. What do you mean? Does the devil still have some tricks? Su De asked. I don't know. But this Kongmulg mountain has been invisible since the first time we came here. It's still the same now, so we can see that there must be a big secret in it, Su Junming said. Everyone stared at the mountains in the distance. Even if they used bronze mirrors, they were blocked by a cloud of fog after going thousands of miles deep. Can't see the deeper secrets. Do you want to let Renwuji try? Under the catastrophe, no living being can escape, the Dragon Emperor said calmly. After thinking about it for a while, Su Junming shook his head. Overcoming the tribulation is not a child's play. He has already defeated the devil's trump card, and there is no need to try again. Otherwise, if the tribulation fails, the loss will be too great. The Dragon Emperor nodded and said no more. Staring at Renwuji, who was fully prepared to overcome the calamity, Su Junming stood up after a while. Let's go to the inviting moon palace to have a look. It's best if we can kill the danger in the cradle. If that doesn't work, Xianzang and I will stay, and you two will leave first. Boss Su. He waved his hand to interrupt Suda. Don't say any more. We both have wishful bodies, so it doesn't matter even if we die. You are different. If you die in battle, thousands of years of hard work will be in vain. As long as any one of Su Junming and Qi Peo Daoshan is alive, they can resurrect the others, but they can only practice cultivation again. Hearing this, Suda didn't say anything more. Although he is usually a drunkard, greedy, and lazy, at critical moments, he never loses his temper. Let's go. 4 rays of light soared into the sky and soon reached the top of Kongsang Mountain. The familiar 3 main halls appeared in front of them again. The Tiantai Palace at the front, the Yeyu Palace in the middle, and the East Palace at the back. Boss, these 3 halls are really evil. The aftermath of our fierce fight just now shattered the entire sea of bones, but these 3 halls are actually intact. Not even a tile was broken, Suda said in surprise. It should be the power from within Kongsang Mountain. Su Junming said slowly. Let's go and take a look at the front. The 4 people activated the escape light and came to the sky above Yeyu Palace. Overlooking the majestic hall that covers an area of hundreds of thousands of miles and is 30,000 feet tall, without Su Junming's instructions, the 4 of them activated the phantom of the bronze mirror in the dungeon to look around. After looking through the entire 3 halls, I couldn't find any trace of the devil's soul. Su Junming frowned, activated the Hunyuan divine sect, and appeared in Yeyu Palace again. A laurel tree tens of thousands of feet high stands in the center. A full moon hangs above the laurel. A snow-white long-eared rabbit lies in the center of the moon, absorbing the solar energy emitted by the laurel tree. Everything is just as it was when we left. Chen Xianzang said after looking around. Su Junming stood with his hands behind his hands, looking at the white rabbit in the full moon. My dear, is there something wrong? The Dragon Emperor asked. Its aura is stronger. If nothing unexpected happens, it will be born in 300 to 500 years at most. With such good qualifications, you must join my Chongshan section, Chen Xianzang said. The 4 of them nodded at the same time. This moon rabbit is the innate spirit of Tai Chi, second only to Renwuji, who became the Taoist innate yin and yang fundamental energy at the beginning, and on the same level as Su Heshu and Lingming Stone Monkey. Even in ancient times, when gods and demons were like rain and immortals were everywhere, they were still top talents. If you encounter one, of course there is no reason to push it out. However, it is very troublesome to take out the moon rabbit. Su Junming frowned slightly. With the help of the bronze mirror, you can clearly see that densely packed prohibitions emerge from the laurel, protecting it tightly in the middle. At the same time, the powerful restraint in the laurel connected with the moon palace and penetrated deep into the underground mountain, disappearing into the mist of Kongsang Mountain. These interlocking restrictions affect the whole body, which is very troublesome. Through the phantom of the bronze mirror, the 3 dragon emperors also discovered the difficulty of the restriction. Can't I use the secret method of space to bypass the restriction and directly bring out the moon rabbit? Chen Xianzang asked. No, unless I can understand the Dao of space to the realm of Deluo Jingxian, there is no way to bypass this restriction. So, I can only polish it bit by bit. Su Junming nodded. Don't worry about this little rabbit for now. We are here to find the devil. Now that we don't see the shadow of the devil, what should we do next? We can't stay here forever, right? Suda said. Su Junming pondered for a moment. The heavenly secret indicates that there must be a reason for inviting the Moon Palace. In this case, Lao San and Lao Wu, you two will go back to the immortal realm to take charge. Me, Lao Lu and Lao San will stay and wait and see what happens. Are you sure? Dragon Emperor asked. Su Junming looked calm. I don't know either. But this is the best solution I can think of at the moment. Even if the three of us die here, you and Lao Wu can still control the situation in the earthly immortal realm. Boss, don't you and Lao Lu have wishful bodies? Just leave a few wishful bodies here and I will go back with us. No. Su Junming shook his head. The wishful body can only carry power, but it cannot carry my avenue. He has found out many times. In dangerous situations, the choices I make are often the wisest. This is the hidden benefit brought by his understanding of the avenue of destiny to the realm of Deluo. Even if it is just a subconscious decision, it is often the guidance of fate that allows him to gain the most benefits. But Ruyi's body is different. He can only carry power, not the avenue. Don't hesitate anymore. Of the 49 thunder tribulations of the second child, only the last 9 are left. I expected it to be good. If the devil still has a conspiracy, he will definitely take action after the third child survives the thunder tribulation. Point your finger. The Hunyuan divine gate appeared. Go ahead. As the dragon emperor waved his hand, 5-colored divine light flashed behind him, and the stone shield obtained from the devil flew into Su Junming's hand. If possible, simply practice it and it will come in handy. The dragon emperor always did things neatly, so he turned around and flew into the Hunyuan divine gate. Su De followed closely and flew in. When the two disappeared, Su Junming put away the Hunyuan divine gate. You take out the 2 Ruyi bodies and transform them into the second and fifth sons. We will use the Ruyi bodies to go out and the real bodies will stay here. Chen Xianzang nodded. 3 rays of light flew out of the body. They transformed into themselves, the Dragon Emperor and Su De respectively. He is a real immortal of Deluo, and he has profound magical power. By dividing the mana into 4 parts, he and the 3 Ruyi Bodhisattvas can still barely maintain the cultivation level of Deluo true immortal. Su Junming also created a Ruyi body, which carried the perfect magic power of his Tei Golden Immortal. As for his true body, he only had martial arts cultivation that was close to the perfection of an admiral. Walk. The 4 Ruyi bodies flew out of the Yeyu Palace with the Hunyuan divine sect, and came to the Sea of Bones again, swallowing the dead air and bones to weaken the devil's strength. Boss, if we deal with it with the Ruyi body, we won't be discovered by the devil, right? No, unless he has a treasure that is better than the bronze mirror, he can never see through it. Su Junming said confidently. The magic of the bronze mirror cannot be compared to the Qingping sword. In the entire prehistoric world, it is estimated that except for a few important treasures such as the Chaos Bell, Tai Chi Diagram, Pangu Flag, and Kinkan Ding, few can surpass it. Chen Xianzang nodded. At this moment, Renwuji only had the last 3 tribulations left. Deluo Zhenxian advanced to Deluo Suingxian's 49 tribulation thunders, and the last 3 were particularly powerful. Even if Renwuji, Taoist's innate deity, has qualifications and understanding comparable to those of the 3 pure ones, 2 Buddhas, Nuwa, Fuxi and other ancient gods, he must still be dealt with carefully. At this moment, the simple divine light of Lianji could no longer stop the thunder. Renwuji sat cross-legged. Staring at the huge thunder eye in mid-air that spanned 30,000 feet, he stretched out his hand. A millstone with white top and black bottom slowly flew up from the top door. It is his natal spiritual treasure. Yin and yang grind. The slowly flying millstone expanded rapidly. In an instant, it transformed into a size of 100,000 feet. The huge mill is like 2 overlapping giant black and white mountains. It is calm and solid, exuding a majestic momentum that can suppress the world. Boom. There was a huge earthquake. 30,000 feet of lavender thunder rolled down like the Yangtze River. At the same time, a powerful yin-yang spiritual light rose into the sky. Forcibly, the powerful thunder tribulation was restrained into the millstone. Rumble, the 100,000-foot yin-yang mill slowly rotated, like two mountains, grinding the thunder into the most primitive spiritual energy. The grinding power produced by the alternation of yin and yang is earth-shattering. The great grinding of yin and yang is turning faster and faster. No matter how powerful the thunder is, there is still nothing that can be done. After Renwuji tempered the innate yin and yang fundamental energy from the beginning, he created an astonishingly powerful natal spiritual treasure. Soon, another tribulation thunder fell. Still helpless, the yin and yang grind. In an extremely hidden corner of Kongsang Mountain, a group of black mist transformed into a demon with a human head and a tiger body, 4 arms and 2 wings on its back. If Su Junming saw him, he would be able to recognize him at a glance. He is the same as Wu Pingxiao, the ancestor of Jin. This junior's qualifications are so strong, they are no worse than mine. It's a pity that no matter how strong you are, you will still fall here today. After seeing that the last thunderbolt was blocked, the demon god fled from the ground towards Kongsang Mountain. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 982. The thunder subsided, but the calamity in the sky did not dissipate. There is still the last inner demon tribulation that has not been overcome. Second brother, once you successfully overcome the tribulation, don't hesitate to enter the Hunyuan divine sect immediately. Su Junming relies on the sound transmission of the souls connected between the 7 souls. Renwuji was startled. What happened? The devil probably has a backup plan. To be on the safe side, we need to avoid his sharp edge temporarily. Listening to his solemn tone, Renwuji quickly agreed. Although he is talkative, boastful, and pushy, he is just like Suda and does not make mistakes at critical moments. The billowing demonic energy descended from the sky and soon confused Renwuji's soul. Because of the existence of the bronze mirror, the heart demon tribulation is the most difficult level in the Lushan tribulation for others, but for the direct disciples of Chongshan, especially between Su Junming and his 7-soul Dao body, the difficulty is greatly weakened. Soon, the inner demon tribulation became a thing of the past. Under the endless power of heaven, the billowing calamity energy turns into billowing innate aura of creation. Renwuji's aura increased visibly to the naked eye. At the same time, due to the limitations of the heavenly realm in the earthly immortal world, the mana that had been squeezed into the body quickly exploded. In less than a quarter of an hour, Renwuji's magic power has passed through the early, middle, and late stages, reaching its peak. Such a rapid improvement in strength made the demon who was observing in the dark couldn't help but be shocked. In his time, although Deluo Xianxian was not the top, he was still the backbone of all races. He has never seen several Qi practitioners who can advance quickly after overcoming the tribulation. It's a pity that you will die here before you can shine. After taking a final look at Renwuji and the 4 figures sitting cross-legged on the magnificent stone gate, he quietly went deep into Kongsang Mountain. Soon we came to a barrier covered by a layer of clouds and fog, but with amazing toughness. From his awakening to now, he has always wanted to break through this barrier and get what's inside. But no matter what he tried, he failed. I didn't expect that one day I would need you, my mortal enemy, to help me defeat a powerful enemy. If you knew about it, you would be furious. There was a trace of pleasure on his face. After simply calming down, Dong Huang Tei, it's time to wake up. A dark earthen jar flew out of the mist. The black mist turned into a human form, and his hands quickly formed seals. Untie. A loud drink. Extremely strong energy and blood soared into the sky. The rolling evil aura is mixed with the rich Zhengjin spiritual energy. The figure waved his hand, and the golden red energy and blood turned into a majestic palm thousands of feet high, hitting the spiritual energy barrier with earth-shattering power. At this moment, Su Junming, who was sitting cross-legged in Yeyu Palace, instantly felt a huge danger weighing heavily on his heart. The feeling of a sharp blade hanging on his neck and the possibility of death at any moment made him tremble with fear. No time to think about it. Second brother, come back quickly. Renwuji was still concentrating his magic power and stabilizing his cultivation. When he heard Su Junming's voice changed, he knew that the matter must be extremely urgent. He hurriedly urged Hu Tianshen to perform the technique and instantly entered the Hunyuan divine sect. At this moment, an earth-shattering will slowly awakened. It's like a big sun flying high into the sky from the east. That sense of splendor, the mighty force that suppresses the sky and covers the earth, makes people feel extremely shocked. Next moment, the magnificent sound resounded through Kongsang Mountain. Which clan, all deserve to die. Clang. The earth-shattering bell tolled and soared into the sky. At this moment, everything around him seemed to have stopped. Be it time, space, or even his thoughts. I don't know how long it has been, maybe it was a moment, maybe it was hundreds of millions of years. The bones, dead energy, rocks, and palaces seemed to be weathered and turned into the purest powder. In the entire world of Kongsang Mountain, apart from Yaoyu Palace, there is only one giant bell that is 30 million feet high and is completely green. Endless divine radiance shrouds the sky, followed by thousands of rosy clouds. Just by taking a simple look, one can clearly sense a Taoist charm that suppresses the past and future, and the 3,000 worlds. That kind of power that penetrates deep into the soul, that kind of divine power that makes people subconsciously want to kneel to the ground, Su Junming instantly understood its identity. Donghuang Bell, or Chaos Bell. The three most important treasures of the prehistoric world are on the same level as the Pangu banner, the most precious treasure of the Chan sect, and the Tai Chi diagram, the most precious treasure of the human sect. Donghuang Tai suppressed the ancient demon court, wiped out the witch clan, and suppressed the supreme artifact of an era. I don't know how much time has passed. The awakening chaos clock gradually fell silent. The Taoist charm that sealed the heaven and earth and suppressed everything gradually dissipated. The atmosphere in Yeyu Palace gradually relaxed. Gudu. Renwuji swallowed, his face full of disbelief. Chaos, chaos clock. Chen Xianzang took a deep breath. I think, except for the chaos clock, there is no bell-like treasure with such power. Seeing the 10,000 miles sky mulberry mountain that had completely turned into powder, Renwuji, who was gradually calming down, cursed instantly. That damn bastard demon is so cruel. If I had escaped a little slower just now, I would have turned into a scumbag by now. Looking at the power of that blow just now, not to mention Deluo Xianxian, even Deluo Jingxian would have to kneel down. Old Lu, curse that bastard to death. Renwuji jumped to his feet angrily. Su Junming was also full of fear at this moment. He finally understood the meaning of the previous hexagram. Kongsang Mountain is a threat, and Yeyu Palace is where life lies. Ignoring Renwuji, who was shocked and frightened, Chen Xianzang asked instead. My dear, is Donghuang Tai still alive? Have no idea. Su Junming slowly shook his head. I don't know. What happened just now? Maybe it's just the remaining will or the remnant soul. Seeing that the demon can occupy the body of Emperor Tai in the East Palace, it should be the former. So, isn't this chaos clock? He didn't finish the sentence, but the meaning was obvious. Renwuji's eyes lit up instantly. That's right. Donghuang Tai is too cold. This chaos bell is an ownerless thing. Now that it falls in front of us, it is our thing. Renwuji rubbed his hands with greed on his face. God is merciful. Sure enough, if you survive a disaster, you will be blessed later. Second master, I made a lot of money this time. Relax, your eyes are about to fall off. Lao Lu, don't tell me you don't want it. Who doesn't want the three great treasures of the ancient world? But this treasure is not something we can covet. If things go wrong, we will be shocked to death before we get the thing. Thinking about the situation where everything was shattered just now, Renwiji calmed down a little. We can't just leave it here. Wouldn't it be terrible if someone discovered it, Renwiji said. Of course we can't ignore it. Judging from the Chaos Bell's explosion just now, it obviously doesn't like the Witch Clan. As long as you don't use anything from the Witch Clan to provoke it, this baby should be very honest. Let's take it back to Chongshan world. When we advance to Hunyuan and have the strength to compete with this bell, it won't be too late to refine it. Chen Xianzang and Renwiji nodded. Su Junming's idea is the safest. So, that demon is from the Witch Clan, Renwiji said. It should be the resentment of the ancestral witch Fuxiao. Otherwise, the ancestral witch corpse he controls will not be that much stronger than the three-legged golden crow corpse. Not to mention that the Chaos Bell and Dong Huangtai are hidden here. Su Junming guessed that both Ling Xiao and Dong Huangtai should have died here. However, Dong Huangtai was more seriously injured, but he was protected by the Chaos Bell. In addition, he was a sun elf and was endowed with pure yang, so it was not easy for him to have evil thoughts. But Yashao is different, except for himself. There are countless corpses of witches and demons killed in battle outside. The dense aura of death provides good soil for the growth of demonic thoughts. As for whether this is the case, he is not 100% sure. Lao Lu, curse that bastard to death as soon as possible. I was almost tricked to death by him. Renwiji was full of resentment. If Su Junming hadn't noticed the danger, he would have reminded him. With the power of the bell just now, he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. No, look. He activated the bronze mirror and looked along Chen Xuanzang's line of sight. Except for the Chaos Clock and Yaoyu Palace, everything else was in ashes. In the world where even the death energy and spiritual energy were shattered, a black mist slowly flew in. It seems that this guy is reluctant to leave the Chaos Clock and is back again. I'm going to kill him. Renwiji was about to go out angrily. But he was stopped by Su Junming. Don't alert the enemy. Don't worry, with my current strength, it will be easy to kill him. Renwiji said confidently. His current cultivation level is only one step away from reaching the perfection of Deluo Xianxian. On the contrary, without the help of vitality, resentment, and bones, the strength of the demonic thought is greatly reduced. Of course he is not Renwiji's opponent. The devil's ways are weird and you have to guard against them. And if at the last moment, he fights for his own life and provokes the Chaos Clock to strike again, you will be seriously injured even if you don't die. Thinking about the power of the Chaos Clock just now, Renwiji didn't dare to be presumptuous again. Lao Lu, come and refine the puppet and directly curse this person to death. Chen Xianzang nodded. Are we going to stay forever? Will that guy break in? Renwiji said. No, there are Dong Huangtai and Wangshi's daughter in Yaoyu Palace. The restrictions here are most sensitive to the aura of the Witch Clan. If the demonic thoughts don't want to be killed by the Chaos Bell, they will definitely not dare to come, Su Junming affirmed. After finishing his words, he turned his head. Second brother, your cultivation level has broken through, and you can't go back to the earthly immortal world. The Chongshan world won't be able to provide you with enough spiritual energy for the time being. So, from now on, you will guard the Chaos Clock here in the Moon Palace and concentrate on understanding the Great Dao. When the Chongshan world becomes a great world and the Chaos Clock is included, you can go to the prehistoric world and set a front for us. Hee, no problem. It just so happens that I have a good understanding of this ancient treasure. His eyes were full of longing for the Chaos Clock. Su Junming smiled lightly. With the help of the bronze mirror, he looked at the simple and heavy green bell outside, which was as big as the sky and suppressed the heaven and earth. Chaos Clock. He also coveted this topmost treasure in the world. However, it is too far for me to get it in my hands now. If you don't have Hunyuan level strength, it's better not to touch it. What a baby, everyone wants it. But the key lies in strength. Strength is not enough to support greed, which is a recipe for disaster.